guys, I'm Claire Aiken, the Fiddle Fig Girl, and today I want to talk to you about something really important, and that's how to use a soil meter with your Fiddle Fig. So if you think about it, one of the biggest challenges about growing healthy Fiddle Figs is knowing exactly when it's time to water. You don't want to water too early or you can cause root rot, and you don't want to wait too late or your Fiddle Fig will dry out and the root system won't be as healthy. So this amazing little invention can tell you exactly the perfect time to water, and it also gives you peace of mind and that confidence and that kind of empirical yes or no question of, should I water my fiddle? And that is a soil meter or a moisture meter. So here's what I mean. This one is a 3-in-1 soil meter. It does light, pH, and water. Most people are going to use this as a moisture meter. So what you do is you put it in the plant, in the root ball, and you can tell how much water is there and how much water is present. And this can give you an answer to when is the time that it's okay to water your fiddle without risking getting it too wet. Now, most people kill their Fiddle Figs with watering too much. So they either water too much or they don't have good drainage or they water too often. And so this is really the remedy for that, is knowing exactly when to water and when not to water, which can really solve 90% of the most common problems that we see. So I recommend using a soil meter every single time you water, just right before you water, to make sure it's time to water. And you could check every week to see how wet or how dry your Fiddle Fig soil system is. And then you can ask yourself, is it time to water? What's really cool about this soil meter is that we actually include instructions for how to use it with a Fiddle Fig. Now you can use these on all houseplants, but of course the number that it gives you is different for when you want to actually water. So for a Fiddle Fig with this soil meter, at a number 4, you go ahead and water, but anything greater than a 4, you would hold off. Anything less than a 4, you would go ahead and water it at that time. So let's talk about how to use this little gadget. So a lot of people just go ahead and get this and then they put it in the soil and they leave it there. That is not what you want to do. This is actually a pretty sophisticated electronic device. You don't want to leave it sitting in your soil, which actually has a lot of moisture in it and can ruin the diodes here that are going to do the measurements. So you're always going to want to put this in, use it, take your reading, and then take it out, clean it off, and keep it dry between uses. Never leave it in the soil or you will eventually ruin your soil meter. The next thing is you want to toggle the switch to the reading that you want. So there's 3 different readings on here. The first is pH, the second is light, and then the third is moisture. So of course you can use these meters to figure out how much light your plants are getting, which is really, really cool. I have some videos on that I will link to. And then also the pH of your soil, and that's really important to make sure that it's not too acidic. And I have a whole video on the perfect pH for your Fiddle Fig. But let's talk about moisture. So you want to toggle it over to moisture, and then the way that you want to insert this into the pot is you want to do it halfway between the stalk of your plant and the exterior of the pot. So halfway between, and then you want to stick it down 2.5 or 3 inches. And that's the same way that you're going to want to use it every single time. It's important because you want to be comparing like variables. And so if you were to stick this all the way to the bottom of the plant, it would probably read wet because of the way water and gravity work. If you put it just in 1 inch, it would probably read dry, depending on when the last time you watered. So you want to make sure that you're using it properly. So halfway in between, and then about 3 inches down, and use it the same way every time. If at 3 inches down, it reads a number 4 or less, then it's okay to go ahead and water. But you can really use this tool to further your knowledge and your intuition about how much water your soil is holding. And so you are going to want to kind of move it around. So put it in the exterior of the pot, put it close to the center of the root ball, put it all the way down at the top, and that can give you an idea for how wet your soil is and how much moisture that your soil is holding throughout the week or month. So Fiddle Figs really like to dry out in between their waterings. They don't like to sit in a lot of water, and that's why we use the number 4, which is basically pretty dry. Most houseplants use greater than 4 by the time you want to water them, so you're actually watering sooner or more often because the soil meter reading that you're using is a higher number. So for fiddles, we really want to let them get pretty dry before we water again. Now, if you keep a plant journal, this can be the perfect time to write down when you watered and what the soil meter reading was. And that's nice because if you start having problems like dropping leaves or root rot or your plant is looking sick, you can look back and figure out what you did wrong and make some deductions there. If you're finding that your soil meter is reading too wet often every time that you use it, you're gonna wanna address your drainage situation. And I will link to a video about the perfect drainage solution for a Fiddle Fig. But if your plant is basically staying too wet, that means you need to do something about it to help it dry out faster and to help it drain a little bit better. So if you're interested in this soil meter, I will link to a coupon and I'll link to the product on Amazon. It's really cool because we have a 100% money back guarantee on this. We are a woman-owned small business and we make sure we really take take care of our customers. And so if you order something like this on Amazon, you get a free bonus pack, you get a free coupon to use on your next order, so you can save on things like Fiddle fig plant food. And we make sure to send you a lot of educational materials for exactly how to use this meter. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.